what time is it? It's time to talk about SFX paints. So I had a poll asking you guys if you wanted me to talk about it, and there were a lot of you that said yes. So here we are. I'm not a professional, especially with SFX. I've taught myself completely 100%, never taken any courses. I have had to figure this all out on my own, and this is just my knowledge, okay? So if you're a professional or you know more than me, that's great. If you think my advice or my knowledge is wrong, feel free to tell me. That's fine. I don't care. So yeah, let's just get into it, okay? Okay. So first, I'm going to talk about water activated paints. Water activated paints are what I use most often. I feel like they are super forgiving and I love them. You put a little bit of water and you can get them opaque. You can apply them with brushes. Sometimes if I'm really looking for a base, I'll use a beauty sponge. They are my favorite. I use them for pretty much everything. I will get into other paints that have different uses that I use for, you know, applying lines or certain types of bases or looks, but water activated paints are my favorite. My favorite brand is Mayron, the Mayron Paradise. I hate their like packaging. A lot of times this will crack and this will come out, so you have to handle them with care. I have a shit ton of broken lids and I don't like that. I love the Paradise paints. They are kind of expensive, anywhere from $10 to $15 a color. They do have, like, my paints are dirty, okay, because that's how it is. All right, I don't have an excuse besides that's how I work when it comes to paints. But they have these handy dandy paint pan ones, which is a little bit of a better deal. I will tell you, you guys, the paints last for a very, very long time. A very, very long time. They go very far. So for the price, like, you can buy one and it'll probably last you years. I have gone through a couple of colors, mostly whites and blacks. Other than that, I haven't fully, I mean, this is my black, it's empty. You know, this is my white, it's almost empty. And that hair is not my hair, it's fake hair, because I did a look with fake hair. But anyways, they last a very long time. So I really suggest something like this if you're starting out, or I suggest getting 5 colors: white, black, and your primary. So yellow, red, and green in the primary form. Like your red, and your yellow, and your blue, because then you can take them and mix them and get the other colors that you want. And then you can also use the white and the black to mix to get gray, or to mix to get a more pastel red or more pastel pink or whatever. You can mix all of those. So if you're starting out, I recommend one of these or those 5 colors, because investing in this stuff is expensive. The Mayron Paradise paints come in glitter as well. It's not like glitter, it's like a shiny one. Those are harder to work with and aren't my favorite, but for the look, they are good. There isn't any other brand that makes it better. And so for me, I feel like it's like a formula thing. It's like working with neon eyeshadows. It's hard to formulate, almost impossible, and pretty much even your best of the best, it's like okay, right? So yes, number 1, I will tell you, if you are looking for a more affordable brand, Snazaroo. Mayron has a website, but I also order them off of Amazon. Snazaroo, I order off of Amazon. This is my white one. It's dirty. Yes, I know. I love their packaging far better than the Paradise ones. This is another good option. It's a couple dollars cheaper, and they are pretty good. Mayron is better, but this is good. This is the next best thing, in my opinion, on the market that I have personally used for water-based paints. And when you get them dirty like this and you need it to go back to the normal color, I just run it over very quickly under cold water and then let it dry. Like, run it very quickly over, it cleans it all off, and there it is. These last for a very long time, I promise. I promise. So the next thing I'm going to talk about are grease paints. I have the Mayron grease paint. Again, it's sturdy. I like grease paints for line work because it's for opaque line work because it's thicker and smoother. And so it just glides on without any hiccup or any need to reapply, because it's so opaque, right? Again, highly suggest Mayron. They're my favorite go-to brand. They are expensive. I only use them for line work, so really the main colors that I like are their black one. You can use it for foundation too. So like if I was to do a devil look, this would be a good one to use because it's thicker and it's opaque. Now, grease paint does move and it is a little bit shiny. So you have to be careful because if you're like touching it or you're putting a wig on or anything like that, you could smear your work. So the way that I remedy that is with a palm sponge like this or any kind of flat, sponge, and a translucent powder. Now, you're going to want to make sure that that is legit a translucent powder. There are powders that claim to be translucent and are not. So you want a white powder. You want it to be translucent. And you're going to take it and you're going to put it on this and you are going to press. And you're going to press as softly, or you're going to press hard, but you're going to not like move it around. You're going to press. And then after you've done that, you can take a fluffy brush and just fluff away all of the other powder. I have found that sometimes that will dull certain parts of my makeup that I didn't want dulled, and so I have to go back in. But it is so worth it to get rid of that shine quickly and for it to stay and be smudge proof. Yeah, that's the method that I have found that works. So for cream paint as well, I really like the Wet n Wild. It's good. It's not like fantastic, but I've bought some stuff from Amazon that are like paints that I don't like, cream paints that I don't like. This cream paint from Wet n Wild, I highly recommend. It's fairly opaque. It works very well. They have multiple colored packs like this. It's affordable. I really like them. I do. And if you're looking for a clown base, I highly suggest the Mayron Clown White. I use the crap out of this for so many looks, for a white foundation, for anything. It works fantastic. If you put it on with a brush, it's super white. If you put it on with a beauty blender, it's a thinner white, more paley, like less clown white, more skin white, I guess. Skin white, vampire white, I don't know. I highly suggest this. It is kind of expensive, but it lasts for fucking ever. I've had this for 3 years now, and I use it a lot. I think I paid $20 for this, $25. It's well worth it. Now, they have a clown pink. I have that one. The formula is not the same, and I'm not as big of a fan of it. For a base, for pink, I still would rather go into a grease paint or even a water activated paint. I will tell you guys, with water activated paint, if you are going to wear it for a long time and you're going to be sweating, it's not what you want to use. You want to use your grease paints. If you're going to be in the rain and you're trick-or-treating or something, you want to use your grease paints and set them. You do not want to use water activated paints. They will come off with water. Even if you set them, you can get them to last longer, but they will come off. And yeah, what I was also going to say is the Snazaroo does get kind of creasy, or has creases in it. The Mayron, I feel, does that a lot less, so you can use quite a bit of it before you struggle with that. Now, I am going to talk about, these are my favorites, my preferences, yada yada, okay? This is the most expensive product I'm going to talk about, and I don't know if there are other brands that make this. I don't know. And this is going to be the alcohol activated paints. It looks like there's not much product, but this goes a very, 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 very far way. This is from Skin Illustrator. I have the American Horror one, which I think is probably my favorite. I only have two because these were like $80 fucking dollars. And to use these, you have to use 99% alcohol. Yep. You can buy it online, you can buy it at a medical store, whatever. But the only way to activate it is with that. You can't use 78% or 79 or 80%. It needs to be 99% alcohol. Now, these are what you would use for prosthetics, on top of prosthetics, or if you're looking for realistic vein work, like blood work, bruise work. It's a very, very thin, it's not opaque, it's a very, very thin color, and you can layer it to make it a little bit thicker, like for bruises, and it just looks so real. It's not for fake looks, it's for a more realistic look, and that's why there's a lot of vein tones. Like this is vein tones, capillary, Darth Moss, aged blood, Asylum, Coven, rice paper, pastel yellow, olive adjuster. These are like professional, in my opinion, when you're doing real work, trying to make things look real. So for bloody SFX looks, for cuts, for bruises. And this one's called American Horror, and I do think that some of these are actually used on sets of you know, movies and stuff, which is why they come up with stuff like this, because the makeup artists will create their own and use them for that set because they're going for certain looks. This one has Erin Kuger Marrakesh, I don't know his name on it. Yeah. This one is for blood, bruises, burns, and illness. And, you know, blood tone, aged blood, bruise tone, ultra blue, black, prime red, burnt orange, they really, 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 really are for upping your SFX. I love them. Like my Freddy Krueger look that I did, I used these as to make those burns look like they did. And it's amazing. Now, it is alcohol activated, so you don't really want to use it super close to your eyes or whatever. Your eyes will start watering. Been there, done that. It's not safe-ish. And the main way to get rid of these off your skin is to use alcohol to remove them. Now, I have used good like pre-cleanse from Dermalogica, oil-based cleansers that will remove most of it, and it's not as scary or hard to remove as it sounds. Speaking of bruise stuff, if you are new to making bruises, I highly suggest the Mayron bruise wheel. I do think another brand makes a bruise wheel too that's a little bit cheaper. Not Snazaroo, but Wolf, I believe. I think, I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, they have a bruise wheel, and this is almost like foolproof for anybody who doesn't know about coloring of bruises or are new. You can create a bruise using this without trying. Now, if you're looking for an old bruise or a new bruise or a black eye that's new or old, you'll have to look at pictures. Okay, you guys, when I was editing, I noticed that part of my video was gone. I don't know where it went. I don't know what happened. So here we are, and yeah, do I look sick? Do I sound sick? I am sick. But I really wanted to do this video and get it all, you know, finished and stuff. So here we are. That bruise wheel I was talking about is a really good item. It's really good for people who don't know the colorings of bruises. It's really easy to... It's just a really good item, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. And then there were two other things that I talked about, which was this, which is the Bloody 5. It's from the Skin Illustrator, and again, you have to have that alcohol with it. But these are like $25, I think, and I find this really helpful. It has all the types of blood, which is nice, and, you know, prime red, blood toned, aged blood, you know, black, and then an adjuster. When you're learning about types of blood and types of looks and what you're going for, something like this I find really helpful. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is this, and it's the Skin Illustrator as well, and it's a tooth lacquer palette, and you have to use the alcohol as well, which kind of tastes gross, but these are for your teeth, and I have number 2. I really want another one with the black, because I find like black being a really good color. But there's like blood and dirt and zombified, aged blood and goblin green in these, and these are specifically for your teeth, which I find to add a lot to your looks. There are a lot of products on the market, so, you know, I'm just mentioning some of my favorites and how I use them. I do have a shirt on, by the way. Doesn't look like I have one on, but I do. So anyways, that's just my, you know, stuff that I like, my opinions and my thoughts on things. So yeah, I'm just gonna go now. I hope you found this video informative or helpful or whatever. But okay, bye.